Hello everybody and welcome back to episode 2 of
I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
Adamantium
Rage. Will do.
You're just doing that on purpose now, aren't you? Whatever. Well, this is the continuation, so let's talk about the Wolverine Adamantium Rage follow-up that was on the Sega Genesis. Is it any better? Is it the same? Is it worse? Let's find out. Wolverine Adamantium Rage was made for the Sega Genesis, developed by Teeny Weeny Games and published by Acclaim in 1994. Well, let me just say that in comparison, Sega Genesis version is certainly better. For one thing, the combat and gameplay is simplified. Only 3 buttons. You have a slash, a kick, and a jump. And you have several other attacks and moves that you can perform as well. The hit detection is much better on enemies, but not on switch controls though. Here are actually a few things I don't remember if I did mention in the Wolverine Super Nintendo version. The biggest problem with it is that you are spending a huge amount throughout every single level having to kill either 20 drones or 15 drones and some odd soldiers in between. At least in this version, it gets it right. And this game definitely does improve upon that. No longer do you have to do any of that mindless work. Instead, you just progress through the level and kill anybody who bothers to even try to get in your way. You still have your healing factor and your wall climbing ability as well. Sadly, the timer still exists, and you'll also notice that when you die, the timer does not reset. But at least you have more than one life in order to progress through the game, and there is also the password system as well. There are still a few small problems with this game. The jumping platforms is a bit of a pain, and there's this odd turning animation that your character has that tends to feel a bit slow when you're trying to go from point A to point B. It is still just as difficult, but at least the game becomes enjoyable, and it actually becomes fun to play. I have currently only gotten as far as level 2, which is this giant snow mountain somewhere, and you fight a giant helicopter, and then you fight another clone version of yourself, but sadly I would always run out of lives. You can always at least get your health back through both your healing factor and whatever health packs you pick up. You can occasionally find an additional life throughout levels, which is very helpful, but the game's challenge does begin to build up. So, in summation, as I was going over some of my notes from the first video I did, I didn't really give this one a score. I just sort of tossed it aside. But really, that is kind of what it deserves. It's not very well. It's not very good. And it never really was. So in terms of a score, I go from 1 to 10. This game, it's not broken. It's at least playable. It's not enjoyable. This game gets at least a 5 out of 10. The Sega Genesis version is at least a big improvement. It's enjoyable. It's fun to play. The controls are simple enough. The gameplay is simple enough. This game gets at least a 7 out of 10 from me. And well, that was episode 2 of Adamantium Rage. I hope that you've enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And stay tuned next time when we will be taking a look at another superhero video game. Till next time, I'm off! Can you still see me? Crap.
No crocodiles, no rhinoceroses. I only like hippopotamuses and hippopotamuses.